Hi there, I'm going to break down today's price action for June 20th from a quarterly theory perspective. Now, approaching today, it's Friday and also OPEX. So on Fridays, the purpose of Fridays is typically to just come back into the range and in quarterly theory. And in quarterly theory, you also want to mark out key levels such as the prior day high and the prior day low. When it's swept, you want to see that for SMT. So the prior day was Thursday, which was a holiday, but let's just mark that out anyway. So not a lot of trading or a lot of hours for trading yes or on Thursday, but we're going to mark out the beginning of the session, which was opening price Wednesday, Eastern time, 6 p.m. So this was the high. Okay. And for highs for the day, in quarterly theory, you're going to be looking at 1 hour candle closures to see if there's SMT. So we'll take a look at that. So now Friday when it opened, we opened with a large gap up with a lot of strength. And if we look here on NQ, let's make this a little bigger for you. So on NQ, we started here and it just pumped, kind of went sideways a little bit. Now, at this point, I was kind of interested overnight because of such strength. When I see a gap open and I see strength, I do not see it kind of gives you, it tips its hand at bias. So you kind of look for more of continuation or dips to buy. And what I saw as the first dip opportunity would be retesting this PSP candle. And if you don't know about quarterly theory, look up Trader Day on X and you can kind of see more concepts. It originated with Trader Day. And I've been in his mentorship for a couple of years now, learning about quarterly theory. Now, one of the concepts is a PSP candle. I'm going to highlight that right here. This 5-minute candle is a PSP candle. Now, what is a PSP candle? You can look at my prior videos to go over like what is a PSP candle. So now I have this indicator where I can see NQ versus ES versus YM. So if you look at YM, on YM it is a down closed candle. And on ES, it is an up close candle, and it's also a swing. As you can see, it's a swing high. To the left of it is a lower high. To the right is a lower high. This is a swing high. So this is a PSP candle because it meets the criteria of a up closed versus down closed candle in the index triad, and it's a swing point. So this is a precision swing point. Now, I'm just going to mark it out. So if I'm looking for continuation, I'm looking for continuation off of retests of this PSP candle. So that's kind of what I was looking for. I did take a long. I ended up taking a long on ES. So on ES, if we highlight the same area, you're going to see it also overlaps an FVG to its right. There was an FVG here. Now when it came and retested here, I went in long and I got about 8 handles or about 40 ticks. So from a quarterly theory perspective, the swing point is going to either provide continuation or reversal. And in this case, what you see is the PSP, we had candle closure above it, and that indicates, okay, we want to be bullish bias still, and we're going to buy retests of this candle. Now, potentially what you can do is go into a smaller time frame. So if I kind of zoom out here and we come back to this PSP candle, and if I go on, say, like, let's just go on a 30-second chart. So if you have that idea with the PSP candle, you can see the candle closed, and then what you want to do is buy retests of the PSP candle, and you might want to look for imbalances to purchase. So potentially, especially like imbalances that haven't been seen yet. So maybe you want to purchase under here. That might be a nice liquidity sweep to purchase. And also, I really like this balanced price range here. This might be one as well. And we can kind of see, let's just go see what happened, I guess, when price came over there. So this is all within that 5-minute PSP candle. So let's kind of go back to a bigger time frame here, just so it's not so much to drag over. Okay, as you can see, NQ was quite strong compared to ES. ES came pretty deep in its PSP candle, while NQ did not. So I guess the retest for NQ was probably later that day. The PSP, it did provide bounces. Now, it only touched the top of it. So basically, if this was your entry and it didn't touch it, that's okay. You can kind of move on. Now, as you see, we had another one. We had another PSP candle. And we'll talk about some SMTs too. We should look for that. So another PSP candle formed here. We had closure above 2 candles later. So right here we had closure above. And then you might want to purchase retests of that. Okay, once again, this one wasn't really retested. Okay, this one was. So I guess if you were aggressive and you saw another PSP candle that closed above, and it finally got a retest here, then you could be part of this this movement up. All right, so let's keep going. Let's kind of look at this for SMT standpoint. Now, if you're looking for SMT day versus day, so that's called weekly cycle SSMT, and we did have it. So if you look at this 1-hour candle, this 1-hour candle, let's kind of mark out what was the high for ES, and we'll kind of compare. Did it come out on the same 1-hour candle? It kind of looks like it did. So if it all came in the same 1-hour candle, then that is not SMT. So in that point, you're like, okay, well, it's not SMT. Kind of move on after that, and that's okay. So it looks like this was the YM high. And yes, they were all taken out by the same 1-hour candle, so that's not SMT. Now let me show you one other thing. So based on the Asia range, so this is Q1, we develop a defining range for the intraday price action. So this is where you might find resistance at the top, and this is where you might find resistance at the bottom. Now if it's going to be a very bearish day, it should break through and maybe come back up to retest. Really, if it's a bearish day, you should find entries before it reaches this point and start taking profit. Maybe get rid of all your position in that moment. As we could see, we reached the DFR top, the defining range, and let's kind of see like what was price action after it got above there. So on the 15-minute, we don't have any PSP candles. As you can tell, I love PSP candles, but we do have something at 9:45. We have a little bit of SMT here. You can kind of see that YM went above, and ES may have, and NQ definitely had a lower high. So let's see. ES looks almost like a double top here. So let's go look closer at ES. It just looks like a perfect double top, right? So so the SMT was with YM. You can kind of see right here. YM had a higher high right here in this candle. And then if we come down on the 5-minute, I could show you, then you're going to see a PSP at the top and then a balanced price range that formed for the reversal. So you have 5-minute PSP candle, you have closure below it, and you don't even get a retest of it. But you do get a balanced price range that formed on YM, and I can show you that. So we have 2 PSP candles here. Potentially you're breaking below it. You might want to get on the train for going short because look, you're at your typical high of the defining range for the day. That's a great spot to get a value short, maybe at this FVG hit right here. We have a bearish FVG, and right here, that's our bearish FVG. Now if I go show you YM, it was like a beautiful spot to short on YM because you get a retest of the balanced price range, which was like optimal spot to get short. So you start with your SMT, you have your PSP, and balanced price ranges, which is a double-sided FEG. So this ended up being just optimal. This is like one of my favorite setups here with a PSP on top of a balanced price range. And what you want to do is short the balanced price range. You would treat this like an order block here. So this, these two bullish candles would be an order block. You could sell them. You could sell inside the balanced price range. You could sell retests of this precision swing point. Okay, so YM gave that, it offered it. NQ did not. And then YM didn't enter the balanced price range anymore. It did come up and make a small high here. YM is actually what I traded the most today from our shorts. And actually ended up being stronger than NQ in the afternoon, which is super rare. Usually NQ is a lot stronger than YM. Got a balanced or a bearish FEG here. Okay, so it just really was great for shorts here. Now I will show you, we did have daily sequential SMT between NQ and YM. So YM for the New York session, it basically had a low that wasn't ran at the same time of as NQ. So if we just kind of mark this out for daily cycle sequential SMT, you're going to compare it in the afternoon session versus the New York session, and you can see that NQ ran it around here while YM stayed up within this fair value gap, this bullish fair value gap, and then NQ ran it here on one of these 15-minute candles. So this is where your bullish daily cycle sequential SMT happened. About there. And about here. And then just YM went back up to retrace. NQ kind of fizzled out, stayed low the rest of the day. And then here on YM, we ended up making another 15-minute precision swing point that gave us one more leg down. And then NQ made a lower low, YM made a lower low, but kind of held up. It didn't take like the Asia low, while NQ did take it. And then what you see here at the bottom, why did I think it was the bottom? Well, the reason why I thought it was the bottom is because of the defining range on NQ. See how we went to the upper, we came to the lower. That was the bottom, and it developed another precision swing point on the 15-minute chart, closed above it, and that one actually provided one more small leg up to end the day. So this became viable, and this up here became sellable. This one closed below. Okay, so if we compare these, so it just kind of ping-ponged between them, but both are important candles. You would want to highlight most likely like the top 50% of it. If you want like good entries, you would highlight here the bottom 50% of it if you want good entries. And then you would zoom in and kind of find like little imbalances to short. So here, this 15-minute PSP, you have, say, let's see, So here we came down, we came back up to retest. You could short this precision or this balanced price range right here. You could short maybe the last upper candle or even these small precision swing points that happened within that 50-minute candles formation. Or you could just wait to see price's reaction once it comes into it. And then you can kind of see we created a 1 minute precision swing point here, broke below it, created a bearish fair value gap, and then sold down, which is great. And then at the end of the day, we came and retested probably this fair value gap within the 15-minute precision swing point. Took this low for just, optimal entry. So it gave you opportunity. So this is kind of how I see it from a quarterly theory perspective. And if you have any questions on any of these concepts, just let me know. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. And I've got other videos on quarterly theory. You can see it on my channel. I've got a playlist of a bunch of stuff. But it's interesting. It's like I kind of understand the concepts better as time moves along. So the newer videos are probably better. The older ones might give you an idea of the concept. But reach out if you have any questions. And please subscribe, and I'll be posting more content. Thank you.